Hello, beautiful. Welcome to another recording of a Love Goddess podcast. And this week, I have a juicy subject I know you're gonna love. This week, we are talking about the art of escape. What does it mean, the art of escape? The art of escape is so crucially important to your life that you're already doing it without even realizing that you're doing it. And so today I want to bring it up to the surface of your consciousness, what it is and how to do it intentionally. The art of escape simply means that through the minutiae of daily things and daily tasks and all the people who are bombarding you with the flow of positivity, not you really want to take that time for yourself and to reconnect with yourself. And so escaping the reality of your world is an extremely important skill every love goddess should master in order to create the life of her dreams. Even at the top, even when you become a love goddess, even if you go even higher level than a love goddess and you are a Cleopatra, you will discover that there is always going to be the next level and the next level and the next level. And you're always going to continue growing and growing and growing. And so when you discover that at the level of a love goddess, there is even the only way to get to that level of a love goddess, and especially the level of Cleopatra's, you must master the skill of imagination. And in order to develop that imagination, you master the art of escape, right? And so this week, I want to talk all about the art of escape. I want to talk about escaping in books and novels that you read. I want to talk about escaping in the woods with, nature. I want to talk about escaping in travel. I want to talk about escaping in even escaping in the evening for your very own retreat where you close doors, nobody bother me, I'm gonna have a nice bath with the bubbles and it's gonna be my own time. That's your own self-care, right? So escaping is super important because it allows you to disconnect, and that is a crucial skill to master for anyone in life. You got to disconnect from all the energies that you are carrying, so you have that wonderful reset into a completely new energy, and you can start attracting and meeting, living in a completely different vibration than the one you were previously living. So the art of escape comes handy, and that's why I'm giving you these tools so you can master them in your own life, so you can learn what are the ways you can disconnect and escape from your own reality, per se. The art of escape, like today specifically, let's focus on one aspect of the art of escape. And let's focus on the art of escape through books and novels and other ways. This could also be the TV shows that you watch. However, they, for me specifically, they don't carry the same level of disconnection than books carry. Right? You are when you're watching a TV, you're numbing yourself. You're not really escaping all that much. While you think you're escaping, you're not really escaping. And you still carry a lot of that energy from TV, and you're gonna absorb that energy from other people on the TV, and then you're gonna carry and add on to your baggage. So you're not really stripping yourself from the energies that you are carrying, right? That's why escaping through shows, and sometimes it works, and sometimes when there's a really good story and it's really uplifting, and you just like under a really big impression after watching a movie or watching a show or a limited series, and it like leaves that almost like a shadow or the coloring that you carry with you, but it's like a positive one. But the problem is that there is just so much junk on TV that you end up just binge watching a lot of junk instead. So that's the problem with the TV. Like I'm sure you are experiencing that too when you turn Netflix on and you're trying to find a show to watch. You get lost in the midst of so many shows, so many options that you could, and you end up like just giving up and picking something random, right? Well, that's the problem. You don't want to pick anything at random. You want to pick it intentionally. That's why I personally love books. And moreover, I can relive characters through the emotions. So that's the key. Like I can relive emotions that each character is describing, because books are full of descriptions of emotions. It's like I am reliving through her own world through her own eyes. So that's what TV shows are missing, the inner monologue, the inner conversation. And that allows you to strip yourself from your very own identity. And like I said, I don't call myself an identity coach for no reason. I don't call myself an erotic identity coach for no reason, right? You strip yourself from your identity that is your reality. At least you think that is. I can go deeper into how I believe that we all live in this bubble, that there is no such thing as reality, but I'm not going to go there, right? You strip yourself from your identity or your idea that you're carrying, and you start living the world through the eyes, perspective, thoughts, ideas, and emotions of a character in a book. And that is what gets you disconnected and escaped from reality. Where TV shows, you're simply numbing yourself with the overwhelm and information and junk, and you not stripping yourself from that energy that you are carrying yourself. The books will allow you to escape into a completely new archetype, into a completely new persona, into a completely new person, and that you could literally experience through your own, like through going through the set of emotions that the character is going through. Very recently, I got a book from, I think her name is BB, but I can't remember. I mentioned the show before, Sex Life, right? The show was based on that book that BB wrote. It's BB's journal, where she goes into describing her relationships in a very descriptive manner with each guy that she had relationship with or had one night stand with, right? And so she goes into very specific descriptions about those encounters. And she goes and describes her feelings and how she was feeling and her perspective and her ideas and her thoughts. And I was going through a very hard time in business, and there's like just a lot of things that are just whirlwind, and And I noticed I was starting to get sick because I was involved in so much of that masculine action that I, without even noticing, came out of my feminine altogether and turned into like very masculine to do kind of list kind of life, right? And so I got so tired and I started getting sick, and I said, I need a break. I need to disconnect. So it's been a while since I actually listened to a fiction book, because my list of books is nonfiction, personal development, right? And it's in business, like business coaching, right? So like you cannot, like, there is a thing with books, you like, if I want to disconnect, business coaching is not going to do that job. I'm going to be even more like, I need a break from my brain, right? And like, I can't like go from a full day of working like like crazy to like then business coaching. That's not how it works. I need to turn my brain off so it like unwinds, right? And so turning into a book is what I needed. And so for a very longest time, I didn't feel there was a need or there was even an opportunity or time for this. And very recently, I felt that, yes, that's what I need. So I researched what books I might want to, what fiction books I might want to read or listen. I like Audible. And I settled on the book version of the show that I enjoyed watching. And the book is actually walking me through a completely different set of characters, which I haven't seen in the show. So it's like I'm reading something completely different than the show at all, right? Which I enjoyed. But what I've noticed, like even a little bit, even 15 minutes, even like just a little bit of listening to her story, how she describes her life, and she describes her life in a very humorous way too. So like I laughed my ass off, right, listening to that. And so I was able to disconnect from problems, from complaint, from like, the stuff that like I was preoccupied before. And I was able to completely check out of my own identity and for a little bit become someone else that I'm not that person, right? So I lived her life for a little bit. And this was absolutely amazing experience because I was able in a very quick period of time, I was able to disconnect completely. And I was able to escape my reality. And I was able to approach my reality after I disconnected with a completely different attitude, with a high vibe attitude, with different perspective. So disconnecting from my reality happened through listening to a book. And as busy as I am really making sure that my personal needs are met, that I am reset, that I am spiritually recharged. My most important thing in the morning or during the day is doing my daily meditation / energy work, right? And so while the book is not part of that, I'm incorporating a book either in the middle of the day to disconnect from that busy lifestyle that I am having, right? To unwind. Or what's even more important, we women have terrible night routine, right? Like we scroll our phones or watch TV and like we go to bed right away. We don't take the time to unwind. We don't have rituals before we go to bed. So it is so deeply important to have a ritual for you to unwind. And I as hard as it is for me, because like it's been forever, like I can't sit through a book for like 15 minutes because I am so used to, because I grab my phone immediately. I used to be reading books like like that. Back in school, and I didn't have phones. Like, I got my first phone at 16, and it was like one of those flip phones, right? So back when we didn't have phones, right? I was an avid reader, and I read War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy in 2 weeks. 2 weeks when I was in high school. So that's impressive. Those books, like, I think there are three of those, 3 or 2 of books that are that big. Anyway, it's crazy to me how social media and how, like, my habit of scrolling through my phone and being constantly on my phone, and it's not like that I'm really scrolling on my phone. I'm just like always checking, like, I gotta check my email, I gotta check like this and that, I gotta check if there's like messages from my girls that, like, maybe questions that they are needing help with. And so I'm always turned on as far as phone, right? Like, I'm always in that mode where, like, I gotta stay out, like, be present for them, I gotta, like, be available, right? And it formed this really bad habit in me that, like, I have to check my phone every 5 minutes. It's so bad. And I noticed that it has started interrupting my, like, even if I want to read a book, I just cannot, like, my attention span is so low nowadays that, like, hey, I'm bored with the book, where's my phone, right? So it's gotten so bad that I can't even read a book. But I started, like, intentionally, I started bringing the book before bed, and reading the book for however little it is. And I know I'm going to start increasing that increments where reading a book before bed becomes my evening ritual that unwinds me, right? And I want for you to develop your own ritual, but escaping in a book and having that way to, like, live another character is super important, because it will help you get out of your own life into a life of a fictional character and relive that life for a little bit, where you get to escape your own life and where you get to gain another perspective. And that is super important. And I want to stress you that it's only going to happen if it is a fictional book. Nonfiction is super important and it has place in your life. But if you want to fully disconnect, you need to start listening or reading a novel of some sorts, or listening and reading, a love story. Another thing, and I mentioned it over and over because that's how much I love the app that I'm going to share with you. It's called Deep Sea, and it's short erotic stories that are played out by actors. It is an app, subscription based, and when I need a quick disconnect, or a turn on, so, like, let's say I'm working and I'm going on a date with my husband and I need to, like, have that mental switch between the woman that is CEO into a woman that is a love partner, or I don't like to use the word partner. I like to use the word lover, right? And, like, I have to switch that archetype, that brain, that head that I'm wearing from, like, being the masculine, on being in my CEO mode, into being a lover and a love goddess, right? I use the app called Deep Sea that has short erotic stories that are only 15 minutes long. And I listen through them, through at least one. They play out the whole scene. There's content that is specifically for women. That's why I'm recommending you. I've never seen anything like that anywhere else. They play out the context. That is what's missing in porn. They play out the context, like why she likes him, why she wants him, what is it, like it like appeals to women. Women want to know the deeper reason and deeper story, right? And that's what gets women turned on. So it plays out the entire story, and then it goes into a quick hook up and they play out the entire sex scene. And so there is like the beginning, the context, and then the scene. And like once you listen to that, you can't simply go back to your masculine mode, right? You like, wow, like that was a quick reset. And the reason why I'm bringing this up to you, that's one of my sure methods to switch the hat that I'm wearing and get into the mood of some sorts, right? And transition from very masculine into very feminine. And so I highly recommend that app. And that is another way I escape. That is another way I escape my anxieties. That is if I did not work them throughout through meditations, which is what my main goal is, right? If I have worries, if something is bothering me, it's not my way. Just keep that in mind. It's not my way to numb myself. I don't escape because I'm afraid to feel the feelings. I feel the fucking feelings. That's the only way I can release the feelings. I never shove them into my subconscious. I'm that good at personal development because it's years and years in the making, right? I feel the feelings. But after I feel the feelings, I'm not numbing myself with that. That's the key difference. Like, you're not escaping to numb yourself. You are escaping to reset yourself. That's the difference, right? That's the difference. If you are hiding from your feelings, that's bad habit, and it's not going to get you far. So what you want is to reset yourself into a higher vibe and reset your mental state into a different state so you could disconnect, right? Do you see the difference? Do you feel the difference, right? That is super, super important to be able to switch your head into a different head. Anyway, my love, I have actually opened up something super special that I have not done before. And it's a 2-day VIP retreat with me. How cool is that? Day 1, you and I will spend time together where we brainstorm how you can become and embody your own love goddess in your own life, and give you an actionable plan on how you will start implementing and making your life more feminine, more sexy, more beautiful. If we need to go and shop for your clothes, I'll be your stylist. So yeah, yay, that's amazing. That is something that I know really, really well you will use in improving your life. But then the second portion, the second day, is really fun day because we are going into a boudoir photo session, and that is when you get to see the new version of yourself that you're embodying. So 2-day VIP retreat with me is something super, super special I'm bringing on for the very first time. I'm super excited. So if you are interested in learning more about that, and if you think that that will be something you will absolutely love doing, make sure to schedule a discovery call with me where we will go over everything. Now, to schedule a discovery call with me, you actually have to apply first, and we receive a set of applications. I definitely want to screen to make sure you are the right fit. So once you apply and invited to work with me, you will receive a link to schedule your discovery call. I think I mentioned everything. Please let me know how this episode has been for you. Please let me know if you are struggling with the subject of escape, and also, do you have your special methods that you absolutely love to be able to disconnect from your reality? I'd love to hear that from you. Please message me on Instagram, and I will see you in the next podcast episode. Mwah.